Hello and welcome. My name is Leiden Heredia and today I will guide you through 5 incredible places at Popayán, Cauca's capital. Our route will be an interesting walk through the city talking about the places and their story. We will start at Caldas Park. Then we will walk through the center of the city to the Puente del Humilladero, and then we will walk 4 more blocks and visit the Natural History Museum of the University of Cauca. After seeing very interesting objects and having information about the place, we will go to the Rincón Payanés, a place full of history and interesting facts, and last but not least, we will go to El Morro del Tulcán, where we expect to see an amazing sunset and having a snack. We recommend to you having comfortable shoes, using sunscreen, carrying a bottle of water because we will have some refill points in the route, using a hat for protecting of the sun, waterproof jacket or umbrella because it is rainy season, and if you feel tired, just tell us and we will stop, and for sure we will find something interesting to tell you about this amazing city. We will meet at Caldas Park, where our adventure will begin. This is the main square of the city of Popayán, Colombia. It is located in the center of the city, where all the main and representative buildings of the city converge. Recently, the place went through expansion, decoration, and beautification of the park's pedestrian area. The park was founded with the city in 1537. The houses of the founders and the dependencies of the religious and governmental powers were built around it. Initially, it was used as a marketplace. In 1538, a block was placed in the center of the square where Jorge Robledo and Álvaro de Ollón were beheaded. In 1766, it was replaced by a fountain. It lasted there until 1805, when a pile of stonework was placed there. This was replaced in 1910 with a statue of Francisco José de Caldas, work of the French sculptor Raoul Verlet. At the same time, the trees that surround the sculpture were planted. The park was enclosed with a wrought iron fence forged by the master Julio Ramos, together with lanterns that were replaced for lamps to illuminate the night. It was preserved for some time and then the fence was removed and the place remained as we see it today. The water font carved in quarry stone that today is in the Plazuela de Santo Domingo was in the main plaza of Timbío in 1910. Later, it was exchanged for a President Pedro Nelo Ospina statue. In the first centenary of national independence in 1910, the statue of the wise man and martyr Francisco José de Caldas was inaugurated and Guillermo Valencia pronounced a magnificent speech in honor of the hero. When the streets surrounding the plaza were paved around 1935, Syrian and Lebanese colony gave 4 water fountains clad in variegated and multicolored tiles as a gesture of remembrance and solidarity, which for some times were controversial subject as a decorative element until the citizens got used to accepting them as an integral part of their ornamentation. This square was also the scene of large religious, civic, and political concentrations. The old gates that enclosed the square were replaced around 1940 after the paving by ornamental hedges of immortal and resurrected trees and several trees of Flor de Mayo, a cork from whose bark the cork is extracted, a mango tree, and a copious myrtle from Castilla. This place is perfect for chill, take a walk, and sometimes we can find craft shops or typical food stations. Now we will go to El Puente del Humilladero. a bridge that crosses the Molino River. It has over 12 arches. The slope was so steep that you couldn't climb without bowing your head. Hence, it was called Del Humilladero. The builders of the bridge were architect and engineer Fray Serafín Berbetti of the Franciscans Order and the municipal chief, Rafael Garcia. The governor of the province, Vicente Cárdenas, ordered the start of the works and commissioned engineer Savasky to draw up the plans and make the budget. The bridge was inaugurated and put on service on July 31, 1873, and for the work carried out by Berbetti and Garcia, a declaration of gratitude was raised that day. In 1883, the state legislature gave it the name Puente Bolívar, given the great savings obtained by Berbetti. The bridge only costed 18,000 gold pesos. People of the time estimated that this work could cost no less than 70,000 pesos. Friar Serafin for all payments received during the construction of the bridge, shelter and food. Then he was transferred to Egypt to direct the construction of the cathedrals of Cairo and Alexandria, as well as a hospice and his chapel, and a college that had 300 students. The Puente del Humilladero was formerly the main entrance to Popayán. It may have lost his function, but it is still one of the most important historical monuments in the city. Now we will go to the Natural History Museum of the University of Cauca. It was founded in 1936 by the biologist Federico Carlos Lehmann Valencia. It's an important center for research, exhibition, and projection to the university, community, and citizens in general, since it stimulates the knowledge of the natural sciences both to students of schools, colleges, and universities. Through its exhibition and reference collections, the Natural History Museum invites you to experience and learn about the great biological and cultural diversity that exists in our country and especially in the department of Cauca. Likewise, it carries out support and research activities for the biology and anthropology programs. Since its reference collection in the areas of geology, botany, zoology, herpetology, entomology, and ornithology are of great interest and support for the academic training of their students. Therefore, following scientific, educational, and cultural purposes, the museum preserves an extraordinary representative sample of the Colombian fauna and flora. But in addition, it exhibits a collection of geological and archaeological pieces that account for the pre-Hispanic historical and ethnographic material culture from the department of Cauca and from other regions in the southwestern part of the country. The museum has 7 thematic exhibition rooms. Now we will go to the Pueblito Patojo or Rincón Pañanés. It is located next to the Belalcázar Hill in the Pamba sector in the White City of Colombia. This place has great historical interest since it is the replica of Popayán. In this place are the reproduction of the Humilladero Bridge, the Hermitage, the clock tower, the batteries and lanterns that symbolize the beautiful streets of the city of Popayán. During the last century, this site worked with the municipal swimming pool of the city, being one of the main sites of great tourist interest. Now you can go and see the place, buy some souvenirs if you want to, or enjoy the local food, and then we will continue to the last of our stops. Now drink some water and prepare for a little walk climbing to El Morro del Tulcán or Pirámide de Tucán. It is the main archaeological site of Popayán. This consists of a small unnatural hill in the shape of a truncated pyramid. in which elements from the pre-Columbian era were found approximately between 500 and 1600 before Christ. Some treasure hunters had emptied graves at the site. The University of Cauca commissioned the Colombian anthropologist Julio César Cubillos with the excavations at the site. The archaeologists concluded that there was a lake, artificial or natural. Now I will tell you about the conflict of the statues. The statue of Cacique Pubén was to be erected in El Morro in honor to a pre-Columbian indigenous story. This statue was commissioned to the Colombian sculptor Rómulo Rosso, but it disappeared in 1937. In 1914, the top of the pyramid was destroyed to put a pedestal and inaugurate at the top of the Morro, instead of the statue of the cacique, a monument in honor of the conqueror and pro-slavery Sebastián de Belalcázar, who carried out the Spanish foundation in Popayán with an equestrian statue. On September 16, 2020, the Belalcázar statue was detached from its pedestal and demolished by protesters of the Misak ethnic group as a demonstration for the vindication of indigenous rights due to discrimination and oppression. Now you can enjoy the magnificent view from here. The bus will be waiting for you at the West Street of El Morro. It has been a pleasure being with you today.